Hello everyone and welcome to NT Gaming with me, Tukx. This is my living rant for the patch 12th of November, and first of all I'd like to apologise for my voice. It's rather hoarse. I've got a bit of a cold coming on, and as always a disclaimer here that I do like Guild Wars. It's one of my favourite games, and these are just my opinions I'm voicing. I can't emphasise enough that these are my opinions. Here we've got the patch preview picture for the 19th of November. That's when we get more details, and the patch will be out on the 26th of November. But this picture here looks like it's the tower we've got currently, but it is being destroyed. And I think that's critical. It's being destroyed. So this three-parter, I think, is coming to a conclusion next patch. This patch has tied together a lot of loose ends with the previous Living Story, and they all link to Scarlet, which I find incredibly interesting. Now, if you listen to my previous Living Rant, the tower. We've actually gone into it this time, and I'm incredibly happy about that. But I was hoping it'd be completely open world rather than just kind of instance open world. It's instance in the way that you go into it, but it's not quite as open as I'd like. I'd like to be in the world just there as a thing which you can just go onto without zoning. But that's probably difficult due to the limitations of the game. The events in the tower I'll talk about now. I found them a little bit boring. There's not too much to them. They're kind of easy. They're not soloable. You need to do them with a group. But this is where I thought that they should probably spawn a little bit more often to get your achievement done, where you have to do, I think it's 15 events within the tower. But I don't know. The way it gates when an event is up, I don't think that's right. I think that might be upsetting some people. It does mean the community has to do the event, but I don't like the idea you have to do the event. If you don't want to do the event, you should just be able to kind of go round. But then I suppose how many people would stop and do the event? If you didn't need the event for your achievement, you wouldn't stop. Unless it was a champion, then you want the loot bag, perhaps. But some of them spawn veterans, so you're not going to be stopping for all of them. Also, as I've mentioned before in my previous Living Rants, the finishers are still in. This is to be expected, but I just want to say again, why are the finishers in PvE? Keep them to PvP, please. That's all. The achievements of this Living Story are kind of easy. Not too hard, a little bit grindy, but this time, this is what I've complained about before, they haven't tried to artificially extend the content with using the dailies as part of the meta achievement, which is what I like. I want them to say, here's 12 achievements, and the meta requires 12 achievements. That's what I'm looking for. I don't want them to say, here's a meta that requires 15 achievements, but we're going to give you 12. That's not what I want, really. I don't want to have to come back for 3 days just to get my meta done. The chambers as part of the tower, I enjoy thoroughly. They're very good, they're quite quick to go through, and they're very simple. And the story in these chambers is incredibly interesting, especially when you get to the end. You have your Order representative or a Destiny's Edge racial character, and it depends on who you are, what order you chose. I was part of the Vigil, so I had the Vigil guy, and I am an Azura, so I had Zoja. And you're taunted about these characters, in fact. You're taunted, I was taunted about the death of the Vigil character. They were saying that it was my fault, and they were saying, do I feel sorry that he died? And even being taunted about Zoja, saying that she wasn't impressed by me, and she was disappointed in me. One thing, again, about inside the chambers is the portals that appear. It's all random inside, but occasionally you get portals that spawn to go through the gates. But portals aren't random. If you go to the wrong one, you'll be downed. It'll blow up and you'll get downed, which is something to do with Scarlet. It's Scarlet's trademark explosives, right? But it just seems to always be the same path. I've done it several times now, so correct me if I'm wrong, but every single time I've had it, it's always been, the first door has been middle, and the second door has been left. I would prefer it so much more if it was actually random and seemed interesting. Whereas this is just a bit, once you learn the route, you're kind of set and you're never going to get blown up again. Anyway, the actual instance chamber itself, the one with 5-man party, right? It's nothing special. It's very, very similar to the solo ones. It's a bit longer. You get larger groups in there. But I liked how they included an instance to this content. I liked it very much how they thought they could add a bit more to it, and it gave a bit more story as well at the end. There was a little cutscene video in the sort of stylized art they've done, and I really liked that. It said a bit more about Scarlet. It was kind of an outro to Scarlet for this patch, and it was good. I really enjoyed it. But the one thing that I think is a shame about this last instance is the fact that you have to do it several times to get your achievement. I think it's 3 times you need to kill the last boss in there, and I just thought it was a shame, really, that you have to do it so often. let's talk about Scarlet for a bit here. I thought Scarlet's voicing was excellent. It gave more of a depth feel to the character, and that showed how incredibly taunting and insane she is as a character. One thing I noticed in the patch notes is it said, and I quote, "The Tower of Nightmares content will be available until the tower's heart is destroyed. Watch the progress as more antitoxin is injected." You may notice in the top right of your screen, while you're playing, you have a little bar that seems to be going up. So what they've said here is it will be available until the tower's heart is destroyed. Does this mean that it will be inaccessible after the bar gets to the top? So will this patch potentially be cut short due to the fact that it's filled up? See, is it all just a ploy in which it's automatically just ticking up and we wouldn't recognise that because people are doing the content? I don't know. I have to keep an eye on that one, I think. We're nearly at the end now. We've had a change to the permanent gathering tools that we've got. You can now change the permanent gathering tools. They were soulbound. You can now trade them in for account-bound versions, which is good. I didn't personally have any of them, but for any of those who do have them, it would be incredibly good. You can give them to your alts. But they seem to have now changed the prices in the Black Lion to 1,000 gems. This is up from 800 gems to 1,000 gems. The problem for me isn't the amount. It's more the fact that it's a weird number to get to. Because the smallest amount of gems they allow you to purchase is 800. So unless you're willing to top up the 800 to 1000 by buying it with gold, you'd have to buy a second one, which will give you 1600 gems. Which then, again, is enough for 2 of the old ones, but isn't enough for 2 of the new ones, unfortunately. So you could buy your first one for that, 1600. That would leave you then with 600. So if you bought another pack to get the second one, that would leave you with 400 gems. And again, it would leave you with 200 gems if you bought a third one. So you're always being left with gems, which I thought was a little bit annoying. Anyway, we now have a preview of some new skins. Right, I don't know what you guys think about them. I really like the staff. It looks very nice. Incredibly mesmery, in fact, I think. But the snaky themed dagger and axe, I'm not too sure about those. They're not really my thing. I'm not a huge fan of these. Anyway guys, this has been quite a short one actually. I was expecting this to be a bit longer. Hope you've enjoyed this. Let me know what you think in the comments. Remember to subscribe if you want more. Thanks for watching guys. See you later. Tukx out.